So I've made a start on my infographic about timber resource in Myanmar, and I've decided I want to add a different sort of first piece of information. So I kind of started out with this idea of showing where all the timber went, but I think, the first thing I want on my page is actually something to give people an idea of like the scale of the problem. So the next thing I'm thinking of adding is I want to add like a simple graphic element to the top to actually get people interested, to get people hooked on this. And so my graphic element that I want to add on the top is really just about like, how bad is this problem? So my approach here is going to be to go to the flaticon.com, which is a great place to find simple icons and images. And I want to try to find something that represents deforestation. So let's go have a look around. Now the thing I like about using the Flat Icon site is that you don't need an account to actually download the images, and it offers up images that you can pay for and images that you can use and you're going to cite. And you can download those images in a variety of file formats, and you can actually download PNGs, which is what we're going to be mostly working with today, and you can recolor those right off the bat. So here you can see there's a citation that you'll want to make sure that you copy before you use this, and then when you click free download, it's going to download the size and color of the image you selected. Immediately it's opening up in preview for me, but what I'm going to do then is flip back over to Pages, and I'm going to pull it into my design. So when I've pulled my graphic icon that I've downloaded from Flat Icon into Pages, first thing you'll notice is that it's kind of pushing the other elements out of the way. So I need to go to the Format tab and the Arrange tab in there, and I need to change it so that the text wrapping is none. Any element that you bring into Pages is by default going to have text wrapping of automatic, which means it's going to push other elements around on your page. And so the very first thing I do is I click on that Arrange tab and change it so that text wrapping is none. Now what I want to do, so this icon is like, close to what I could get. It's got a little road you can see in some forested area, but I'm going to modify it a little bit to represent actually part of the forest that's cleared. And to do that, I'm going to like modify it a little bit by adding some just simple vertical lines to represent tree stumps. So those are going to come over to the right here toward my number of 7.4 million, and that's going to visually lead, you can see from the top left toward the bottom right, there's a nice clean line there. So I'm going to go ahead and do that, and let's see how this turns out. So the first thing that I did was I actually altered the color of this icon a little bit. So I felt like it being black, it was just a little bit too intense and too bright. And now what I'm doing is I'm using the pen tool to draw a line to actually continue that hill over toward the 7.4 million number. And I'm just going to make that hill the same size and the same exact shade as the rest of the icon already. So the next thing I'm doing now is I'm making some little vertical lines, and I'm making those lines the same weight and the same shade as the other lines in my drawing just to make them look like they fit. And then I'm going to dupe those things a bunch of times. So to duplicate things fast, you just go Command D once you have one selected, and you can see I can get this whole row of tree stumps. And then I'm just pulling one up to the top, doing that again and again and again until I can just get a whole little hillside, filling in this entire area with tree stumps. And then the last thing I'm going to do with those is I'm going to go ahead and rearrange them a little bit so that they're not all in nice perfect rows, and just give it a little bit more visual interest just to move them around a little bit.